Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Nanette and I am here for another YNAB Budget With Me session. Let's see, a lot's been happening and it also feels like time is frozen. No progress on the renovation of the home and the home front. Hit another snag with the drywall. And I have to go out of town on a business trip next week, so that is where I'm going to be focusing my energies, preparing for that trip and making sure that I've got a cat sitter and I've got clothes. I have been a fully remote worker, working 100% independent in my own home, wearing whatever the heck I want to. So I have to go out and purchase some business casual attire, which I actually have made a pretty good head start on that. But between that and prepping the house, getting the cat sitter, getting help in the garden to stabilize everything before I leave, that is going to take up my energy output. So everything related to the renovations is on hold until I get back. The day I get back from the business trip, I am going on a little train trip to Savannah with a friend and having a weekend excursion, so that should be fun. I'm hoping it's not quite a week away from the house, but just even having something close to a week away from the house, hoping that that does me and myself a whole lot of good. I can't see how it couldn't, except that the thought of having to spend 2 days in the office next week in a very busy office in New Jersey may just put me in a sensory overload, but I'm going to prepare myself as well as possible, take all the breaks and walks and whatever I need to do to make sure that I manage my own nervous system, if you will. So yeah, I'll fill you in after the fact. When do I return? Today we're going to be budgeting out my final September paycheck, and I should return just in time for my first October paycheck. So I don't know if I'd like to do a spending breakdown for the month of September between now and the next, in the October video, or the October paycheck video, but we'll have to see. I'm not really good at fitting in those extra videos, but we'll see what happens. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the October paycheck. I always like to go over to the Reflect tab, and let's go back into, I'm filming this on the 1st of October, so we'll back into the month of September and see that the total cash back for the month was $40.19. Interest from the high yield savings account plus a little bit of dribs and drabs from other accounts that I have comes to a total of $281.08. I got a $1,000 gift from a generous family member, and my gross pay for the month was $15,541.67 for a total of $16,862.94. So we are going to take this gross income and make it my net income by reviewing the payroll taxes. I don't think there's anything worthy of note, except that next paycheck I should max out the Social Security for the year. Yeah, I'm at 94%, 654 to go. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it'll be the final October paycheck, because they only take out $467.37 per pay period. So let's get that reset though. So I will reset the available amounts to 0, and that knocks those guys out. And then we have the stock purchase plan and the HSA contributions. We will reset those available amounts to 0, and we're looking at my gross pay of $4,699.25, which is a little bit higher because they're no longer taking out the 401k contributions. I maxed that out with the last paycheck. So now we will go, there's nothing to do in the month of September. I could go through here, and maybe I will. Let's do that like this. Let's go see if I want to release any of this money into, I don't think I do. Well, I'm going to have extra money. I will release this to ready to assign. And if I can, I wish this would stay down where I want it to be. So let's go here and reset the available amount to 0. That's not necessarily the easiest way to do that, but it's the way I'm going to do it this time, and I'll do the same thing. Well, I guess this is the easiest way, is just to move this to ready to assign, if I can type properly, and I can't. If you heard my Teams message and it startled you, sorry about that. The messages have started for the day, but I have not started work yet. And then I'm not going to want to release the car insurance or the electric and water, or Papa Payback, or number 2 funds, or the cat stuff. I think I've already accounted for that. So yeah, there's nothing else that I want to. I think reality is the only place that I would take any of that from. Take a quick peek here. And no, I don't see anything here that I want to release to ready to assign. So now we can go into October. What I want to do here, I definitely want to, how do we have overspending already? Oh, again, I have a automatic transaction that's not tied to reality. So I am going to get rid of, I guess I'll go ahead and jump to accounts. I don't usually like to do this, but I'm going to reject that transaction and then go look for it in the future. Why am I not seeing it in the future? Because I would see it in the other account. I'm not going to jump over there right now. All right, so I have to do that one offline. So let's see. When I go to do my final October paycheck, then we'll find out if I actually pulled that off this time or not. So back to plan. We will go through October as far as, let's see what we have underfunded with the reality question. Nothing in the reality question is underfunded. That is, what does the money need to do before I get paid again? And then stability is, what large or less frequent spending do I need to prepare for? I think the only underfunding that we're going to find here is going to be in the inevitable stuff. So watch this number here. It won't go down until I get to inevitable stuff. That's my theory anyway. So we'll bounce through here. And then if I go down to, if I take out the home maintenance, it goes down to $11.92. So there's something in here that needs a little bit more money. So we'll cover, gosh, now I'm curious. I got to figure out which one it is. Oh, it's the office expenses down here. Here's where we've got the $10 and then $192. So let's cover that underfunding. And I'm not touching the home maintenance. What I have here, between what I have here and then what I have in, actually it's probably easier to find it and show you everything if I'm in the all category. Down here in the spendful stuff, which is where I have all of the home renovations, there's more than enough in my overall home maintenance fund. So I'm not increasing those until I tackle a few other things that are important to me. So then in the resilience question, what can I set aside for next month's spending? Before I go there, no, I do want to go there. And let me undo for a second because I want to show you something. That's fine. I will undo this as well so I can get back to where I was. All right, so we came into October. How could we have extra in October to spend here? I don't know why that doesn't make sense to me, but sometimes things don't make sense when I'm recording because a part of my brain is thinking about the recording, but let's just move on here. Okay, so if I go to October and I click on all, we're going to see, let me take away, down in inevitable stuff, I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to uncheck the home maintenance, and then I'm going to uncheck, where are they hiding on me? I'm going to uncheck payroll and retirement stuff because those are related to Yeah, this is not coming out the way that I thought it would. I thought I was about $2,000 underfunded for October. So I wanted to go ahead and book $2,000 of this paycheck into November so that when I do my first paycheck of October, I can fully fund November. So let's just go into awkward segue. That was a terribly awkward segue to say that I want to take some of this money. So let's go redo some things so we can get, I definitely want to redo that guy, get rid of that $1,000, and then we're sitting here with, yeah, I don't know why there's a difference between these two numbers. Something to puzzle through offline. All right, so now I'm going to go into, since we've covered reality, we've covered stability, we've gotten to resilience. What can I set aside for November? I want to set aside about $2,000 in November and then take that remaining $3,000 and see what I want to do with it. All right, so we will use the reality question to do this. I will go ahead and underfund this $950 in the My Stuff category group. I will cover the monthly bills. That's another $625. So what are we at? About $1,550, give or take. I know I'm a little bit off with my math. And actually we can see if I uncheck this, we can see I've now assigned $1,579. Okay, let's do number 2 funds. Is underfunded by how much? 442. I like that number. So where are we at now? Now we're at 2022, which is about where I wanted to be. So that's fine. Let's go back to today. And what can we do with this $3,068.73? I'm going to go to the creation question. And fitness is still sitting at $180. I'm not sure why they didn't take out the $80 subscription fee, but I'll get with the studio guy and figure that one out. I'll put another 80 in here just because I do think that's probably the fair thing to do. Garden supplies is fully funded. Feed me, I need another 284, so we'll assign that. Fun and Adventures, I am going to be spending out of Fun and Adventures, so I definitely want to top that guy up per the usual. Then in their stuff, this surprises me because I thought I was just under 514. That makes me think, yeah, I have to figure that out. I think there may be a reimbursement. Oh, maybe a reimbursement transaction came through and hasn't cleared. Anyhow, I'm still very close to the $500 mark, which is where I want to share the wealth for right now, unless I mindfully spend from it, which would be a fantastic thing to do and may happen when I'm on my little Savannah excursion. Helping Hands is at 575. Let's add another 25 to that to top it up to 600. There's another Teams message. It's me, it's not you. I'm not gonna, oh, I am gonna touch investments this time. So it's, oh, why am I sitting in September? Well, I didn't really want to be in September. I wanted to be in October, but it's fine. It was September funds that we're using, so no harm with the money going in a month early. Okay, investments. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and do 1,000 here. Might even put more in. Actually, what was this saying? I needed 1,334. Let's make it 1,500 so we don't have any yellow in that category. And we have an even number. Why are you still yellow? Wait, what does it really want? It wants 2,000. All right, let's do 2,500. Let's just meet the target and exceed it just a little bit. And then I don't need anything for this stuff. So what do I want to do with that 7913? I will go back to the inevitable stuff and plop it into the home maintenance. which if we back up into September, you'll see that a bunch of money came out of home maintenance and floated into that spendful, which is sort of a wish farm slash home renovations funding situation. So yep, we assigned all of our money. We are sitting at zero. Let's go to October and let's see what is left underfunded. We don't care about payroll. We don't care about retirement stuff. Inevitable is just going to be home maintenance, and then fun stuff. Fitness is going to be underfunded. I am going to go ahead and snooze this guy so that we don't see that going forward. If it needs more love, we'll give it more love in the first October paycheck. Okay, the team's messages are starting to crank up, so let me see if I can wrap up the video. The only other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is SeaFerrier had asked a really good question about where my vet savings are, if they are in my high yield savings account or if they're in my checking account. And the short answer is maybe neither or both, because I don't align any particular category group to, let me go find, here's Kizzy's stuff. I don't align any specific category groups to any specific accounts. Instead, all of my money is sitting in one big pool. I manage my account balances carefully by only keeping what I need in checking. There's very little that I pay out of my checking account, so I keep those between $2,500 and $5,000, which is at any given time, which is normally more than enough to cover any bills that come out of there. I am what Rami Sethi would call an optimizer, which is not necessarily something I would recommend. And it's not necessarily anything that I want to change in myself. It's just a recognition of that is the way I think around money. And by optimizer, I mean I'm always concerned with my money doing something for me. So the more I can put into my high yield savings account, the more interest I'm getting, even if it's only in the 3 to 4% range. What I have in my cash accounts, checking and savings and whatnot, is roughly about 18 months of expenses, which is broken out into, all of my various sinking funds and whatnot. But what's in checking that's getting probably less than 0.25% in interest is minimized. And the way I'm able to do that is I pay most of my bills and make most of my purchases using a credit card. I have 2 credit cards. Both of them are auto-paid in full by the statement. I never ever carry a balance. Therefore, I never ever pay any interest charges or service fees or anything like that. I'm able to do that because I have a lot of margin in my paycheck. I have an awful lot of savings. I would not recommend this approach unless you have consistently demonstrated that you're able to pay off your credit cards in full on the statement date every single month. Some people even, I know Layla from, what is her channel name? Goodness, why is that escaping me? Yeah, it's escaping me. It'll probably come to me as I go through the video. But anyhow, some people pay off their balances weekly and just really don't ever carry a balance at all. I let it ride until the statement balance. Same thing, because I'm optimizing that silly little 3%. So on the rare occasions that I do need to pay a larger bill via checking, I am able to transfer from my high yield savings account in time to do so. For example, I'll likely pay the contractor for the HVAC replacement via cash or check. So I'll transfer the money in time to be able to do that. This approach is definitely not for everyone. There's no sense in chasing after that extra 3 or 4% interest if there is any risk at all that you would overspend in credit and end up having to carry over a balance, because even 1 month's worth of interest on that balance could eat up all of the savings you would have gotten in your high yield savings account. So it's just really not worth it. So if there's any risk of overspending on credit, if you're not a month ahead or you don't have an emergency fund, just leave things in checking. Put what you can in high yield savings, but leave what you need in checking, and focus on the other 3 areas first. And those were making sure that you are not at risk of overspending on credit, getting yourself at least a month ahead, getting yourself a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. And once those things are in place and you're investing regularly, you're able to automate your finances and put everything on autopilot, then if it matters to you, you can look to transfer more into your high yield savings account. So that is my philosophy on where my money sits. I'm less concerned about where my money is versus what my money can do for me. And that's one of the reasons that I love the YNAB software so much. So if you have listened all the way to the end here, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. I would love to hear what your philosophy is on where your money resides and what your money is doing for you. So please let me know in the comments. I also zoomed in a lot closer than I usually do, which is a little disorienting for me, but I think it probably makes for a better viewing experience. So let me know if you like that or if it matters to you. Either way, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.